Hello, and welcome to episode number 129 of the Board Game Barrage podcast. I'm your host, Christina, the blue tank, and with me, as always, I have Neelan.
Hello.
The orange tank. Mark,
Me.
the green tank.
Hello.
And Kellen, the red tank.
I prefer the original tank.
Where is Tanky? Speaking of the original tank.
Yeah, he's in. Look, Neelan stole him.
Oh my gosh, Neelan. You planned this before the pandemic, before the lockdown?
Exactly. I've needed a quarantine companion. And I've held him close every night accordingly.
What happened to the box inserts?
They've long gone, unfortunately. They did not make it to the new
Tanky?
apartment. Now it's yeah, exactly. Now it's Tanky.
You vile human.
So here we are today. We are not together, but we are talking about things that we normally would do together, which is play party games. And actually this week we did play some party games, even though we're not together. So today we are going to get right to our feature topic, our BGBBOB segment, because we've got a lot of games to cover and we're in a party mood and, we're...
Party started.
Yeah, we got to get the party started.
That's what they say, right?
That is what the
party goers say.
So we're going to jump right into it. Let's talk about party games. We had a night of party games with some friends from the Discord, but before I jump into those, I wanted to really quickly mention Twice as Clever, the app, which I know Neelan loves. Neelan recommended it, and he's talked about it a lot already. But just briefly, Twice as Clever is a roll and write. I've only played the solo version, so I can only speak to that. It is addictive, first of all. We have a little debate. So the real reason I'm bringing it up is because Kellen seems to think that the sound that the little guy makes when you do something good is a tee-hee, but it's definitely a woohoo.
Okay.
Like a woohoo.
Just
Kellen?
let me set the scene here because she has played this so many times over quarantine that she'll be getting ready for bed, and then from the back of the room I'll hear this little tee, and I'll just look over on the bed and shit that's just glowing, from the app.
He keeps saying that it's tee-hee, but I'm going to play it for everyone, and we'll take a little poll here. So hang on, let me... You hear that?
That's the same sound? Because that kind of sounded like a woohoo.
Okay, now you want to... Okay, let's give it again. It's definitely woohoo, right? Now that you're hearing it through your headphones, you're changing your tune?
I think that I'm going to have to provide some better sound effects.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe your cell phone something's lost in translation.
Well, this is the same cell phone that I've been playing obsessively, as you've said.
What were Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson saying to each other at the end of that?
Yeah, similarly, we may as well just leave it open to debate.
Who could say?
It's definitely woohoo.
Right? It's definitely woohoo.
I'm not ready to say that, actually.
Wait, are you kidding?
Really?
What is wrong with you people?
It sounded like the Pillsbury Doughboy sort of thing.
I mean, who's definitely
Sure,
saying...
which is more of a
saying
tiki.
woohoo.
No, he's definitely
Thank you, Mark.
The Pillsbury Doughboy is saying woohoo?
Yeah.
He's being poked in the stomach and he's laughing about it.
Okay, it's more like a... It's more like that.
I don't know. I'm reserving judgment. I can't.
Okay, let's see.
The Pillsbury Doughboy is not saying tea.
Crescents have so much butter flavor, they're hard to forget.
Rejects. Full house. Hot crescents. Why? Oh, hot, fresh Pillsbury crescents. Marge baked them last night. Oh. And the buttery flavor. Yeah, they were loaded with buttery flavor. Every one of them. Oh,
It's much worse
how many
than
every one of them? 3, 4, 5. Oh.
Try butter flavored crescents. Fresh and hot, and Pillsbury says it best.
Oh, that
He's
was
not saying woohoo.
He was
Okay, it's not saying woohoo, but it's more like a... It's not tee-hee.
First of all, impeccable
Oh, thank you.
work there, Neil, and that's great.
It happens when you poke my belly as well, so I've heard it lots.
Okay, so in Doppelt So Clever, the mascot is the Pillsbury Doughboy, and he's saying, woo! As Kellen said, I've been playing this obsessively. I really like it. I'm sure it would be super fun in an actual competitive way because I have an opponent on the app, but I only get to interact with that opponent once. And you can,
the Doughboy.
I can kind of tell how you can extrapolate and see with more players how that would get really mean and tense. But yeah, I really, really like it, and I want to play it with you all. Doppelt So Clever, 10 out of 10 Doughboys.
Neil?
Woohoo!
You're really good at those, like all the Pokemon voices too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. One of your many talents. This is why I wanted to wake up as Neelan. We had a great time playing some party games this week with some friends on the Discord. We found some good online implementations of a couple games. So we started out with Just One and Wavelength. Those were good ways to get together and laugh and have fun, even though we're all far away from each other.
And we won't tell you how we know or who we know it about, but someone on our Discord murders baby mices.
Yep, baby mices. Yeah, we had some interesting moral discussions. We did find out that Neelan is the most morally sound of all of us. You learn these things in Wavelength. It's got some depth.
And which Pokemon is the sexiest?
Yeah, we learned that about Kellen. I wish I didn't know that, but that's okay. Still good knowledge, I suppose. So after playing around with some party games, we jumped into a game of Six Nimmt. We had 7 players, which I think is the highest player count that I've played Six Nimmt at, and it made it a little bit more chaotic. What did you guys think about our online game of Six Nimmt?
I really like Six Nimmt. It's just a super tactical, and even then, there's a little bit of who knows how things are going to break. But it's quick and it's fun, and having a voice chat with 7 people playing it made it even more fun because there's a lot of fun trash talking. For a game that's sort of quick and crazy.
Yeah, I think it's mostly who knows how this is going to go, but I think that's definitely worse at a higher player count, honestly. But it's still fun. It's still fun.
It's funny because I have the same feeling I do when people talk about innovation, is they just get mad because they're not good at it, honestly. Because it's a trick-taking style game where you have to know how to play your hand from the very beginning. And of course there's luck, and the more players that you have, the more chaotic it does get. But I think that it's very skill-based in terms of getting to the 1, 2, or 3 position in a group of 7. I really don't think it's just like chaos to the wind.
I just think that, like, regardless of how well you've managed your hand, on every play, where you are going to line up in the row is largely unknowable.
Yeah, I think that who was it? Was it me and you, or me and one other player who consistently didn't lose any points until the very end, and we were both neck and neck.
You and Wa Wilson.
And you
play Wilson.
And you play a series of hands, right? You're playing 5 to 10 hands. It's not one hand.
But if you had one bad hand, it would have changed the score. You know, if somebody else didn't get one bad,
don't have a bad hand.
Just get good.
I wonder, the best Six Nimmt player in the world, what would their win rate be?
Totally. And I think that this is definitely in the party game category for gamers because of that. I just find that I personally think I consistently do well at this game.
Yeah.
And I love listening for the person who says this is too luck-based, because it's usually someone I don't want to hang out with.
We also went into this game in a very party...
No, but I'm...
Six Nimmt ends this podcast.
I thought you didn't like tryhards, Kellen.
No, the tryhard thing is saying that it's all luck-based. It's like I couldn't win anyway, like that's why I lost. That's more tryhard than just being a winner.
I mean, I think the tryhard factor is more of a product of, like, if I was upset that I lost Six Nimmt because if it was random, I would be with you.
Yeah, but the person, the table and said it's all luck based.
The person at the end of Six Nimmt saying out loud this game is too luck based is more of a tryhard than the person who won Six Nimmt.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's
Unless the person who won Six Nimmt at the end said this game is all strategy. Like,
We also went into this particular game with more of a party-ish mindset because we had just played a bunch of games. We were all laughing, being silly. Some of us were drinking. So, you know, it was a party.
Wait, who was drinking? I wasn't drinking. I wasn't told there were drinks involved.
Yeah, that was part of the party. You missed out. So that'll lead us nicely into our feature topic of the week. But before we go there, we want to just mention we're releasing a bonus episode this week. So it might be a fun time to join Patreon. I don't know why I keep doing that voice. I think, like, I have it in my mind that it's a party episode and I have to keep ending my words with
a game show host.
An up note. Yeah, exactly.
I'm all for it.
So if you want to find out more about being a patron of Board Game Barrage, you can go to boardgamebarrage.com/Patreon.
Yeah, and just as a reminder of all of the cool bonuses you can get for being a Patreon member, we release bonus episodes of the podcast once a month. In fact, we are recording one right after this that will be going out very, very soon. You can also get your own colored Discord tank and exclusive access to the Patreon channel where we get a little more behind the scenes and some of the things we have going on in Board Game Barrage land.
There are a couple videos Kellen has done and put up there that are fantastic.
Right.
I would worth price of admission alone. And yeah, it absolutely, totally helps Really helps us upgrade our equipment, makes these long-distance recordings easier to do, and I think just ups the quality of the recordings we can do for you guys. And it just helps us expand the show and get more great folks like you listening. So anything you can do at boardgamebarrage.com/Patreon is much, much appreciated.
And if you're not able to help us financially, we totally get it. You can leave a review for the show all over the internet or tell any of your friends about the show who like board gaming. That is also super, super, super helpful for us. Thank you so much for listening.
And if you just want to chat, go to boardgamebarrage.com/Discord and we'll chat any time of the day. There's somebody to talk to.
That's right.
So that is going to bring us to, I've been so anxious to get this going.
Party time.
It's party time.
That's right.
And I have the list on Pub Meeple and I'm very excited to get it going. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our special segment, Fire Away BG Bob.
The return of Bob.
The Return of Bob Party Edition. Here we are. All right.
Let them know what BGBOB stands for, Christina.
BG Bob, Board Game Barrage, Best of Board Games.
Perfect. Yes. We workshop that.
Mark, tell us the ground
The number one
rules.
ground rule is when you say the words fire away, you have locked in your vote. You cannot
Seal.
go back. That is the number one rule. Every other rule is secondary to that rule. Other rule, when we had 3 people, whenever 2 people agreed on something, we'd move on. We have 4 people now, so it's going to be a passion fight, a fight of passion. You're going to put your hearts on the line. So if it's a 2-on-2 tie, whoever's the most passionate is going to win out, and we're going to move on. And I think those are the 2 rules.
Who has
Ready.
the most passion out of the 4 of us in general? Zest for life.
Okay, count of 3. Count of 3. Most passionate.
3,
2,
2, 1.
Mark.
Callan.
Me.
What?
What?
Mark, you and I both said me.
Oh, okay.
Like
That's fine.
the word me.
Yeah.
As in, yeah.
Wait, did Kellen also say Kellen?
Kellen said Kellen.
God damn it.
It's better than saying me.
Yeah, true.
Nealon shows his moral fortitude by
Right.
actually voting for someone else.
Yes.
That's true.
I would have thought the rule would be don't vote for yourself, but okay.
Well, you're all wrong. We're starting strong. First up, we have 2 contenders. Anomia versus True Colors.
Ooh.
Wow, wow, wow.
All right, I'm going to start with True Colors.
Mark, tell us about True Colors.
I'm going to tell us about True Colors because I put True Colors on the list because I love it. True Colors is a game where everybody's assigned to a color, questions come out, and you have to vote on who that question most applies to in your opinion. If you think it's between 2 people, you put each of their colors in this secret ballot. If you think it's definitely one person, which is when it gets really funny, you put 2 of their color in the ballot. So if I think if Nealon's orange and I think this question applies to Nealon big time, I could put 2 orange cards in the secret ballot. Everybody votes. We shake up the secret ballot box, open it up, and then reveal it for all the world to see who among us is the person that you would not want to have dinner with, or who among you is the person that you would call on if you had computer questions, or who among you is whatever.
Kellen.
All right, I'll describe Anomia. Anomia is a screaming game because everybody has a stack of cards and you have to reveal a card in front of you. And then when somebody else matches your symbol, you have to race to scream whatever fits into that category.
Or say.
Well, it works better if you scream. If you're louder, then you win. That's what I've learned.
You startle them.
So they have to say something that fits into the category on your card. You have to say something that fits into the category of their card. And whoever says it first wins. And then you take the card, and then those are your points. It's great. That's Anomia. So I think we have
All right.
a tough fight.
I love Anomia. I do. I love
I do
Anomia. But for me, True Colors, Fire Away for sure. True Colors is super fun, but also super raw. Like, it can get really, like...
It's real.
It gets real, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, you don't want to play... You can play Anomia with people you don't know. You can pull a guy off the street and play Anomia with them, fine. But if you have an intimate circle, as you will after the quarantine, you want to get back into, like, connecting with people, you
I'm
play
just
True
hearing
Colors.
intimate party
What?
and wondering what kind of parties you're having.
There are 2 kinds of parties: intimate parties and parties with people off the street.
That's right.
Never combine
Those
the
are my 2 favorite kinds.
While I would agree that the intimacy of True Colors is something pretty rare and special, I think it limits the number of people you can play it with and how often you would want to bring it out.
Better game.
Anomia is stressful and raw and exciting, and there is nothing better than watching Christina play this because she will stand and slam her hands on the table and shout something into your face. It just brings out that fury to try get something out as quickly as possible, and then it just escalates because that might reveal another
Before
card.
you vote,
Ah, it's
before
good.
you lock in, I understand. True Colors is tough to bring out people you don't play games with. But also, there's an intimidation factor with Anomia, too.
Thank you, Mark.
Look, Kellen, you're with me.
Let me help defend you. Thank you. Let Kellen talk. Thank you, Mark. Nealon, I think that you're making a little bit of a false thing that Anomia is so much more accessible.
Look,
Anomia is actually, it's so stressful that I feel like I can't even play half a round because people are talking so fast. It's real time and rewards people who are very loud. Locked in, fire away, True Colors.
Oh my
no
God.
So I'm the tiebreaker here?
Nealon hasn't locked in anything, first of all.
Yeah, Anomia was close to the top 5 of my submission, so like I'm a fire away on Anomia.
All right, so this is actually really hard for me. I love both of these games, as Nealon said. Anomia raises my heart rate more than almost any other game, but I think that
We're family. Playing with family.
You're making a mistake.
the group that I typically play with,
the highs are higher, Nealon.
You get so much out of True Colors. I crave this game when I'm craving social interaction. So right now maybe this is a time-based answer, but I'm going to have to fire away True Colors.
Boom.
Fire away.
Mistake.
Sorry. All right. Next up, we have Scruples versus The Resistance.
The Resistance, fire away.
Nealon takes The Resistance.
The Resistance is the social deduction party game. It is the game of spies and the Resistance, where the spies know each other, but the Resistance don't know who the spies are. And the game is about using everything at your disposal in a social setting to lie and manipulate and get your spies onto the team before the Resistance figure out who you are. There's beautiful little pockets of hidden information. There might be roles where some people know something about the other team, but other people don't, and you have to work around that without giving it away. Resistance is like pure social deduction. Other games have sort of taken the form and run with it, but nothing comes close to the purity of the Resistance. That's it.
Dystopian Spy Game is our party game here. We're going to be Dystopian Spies. That's our party.
Yeah,
we're having a Dystopian Spy Party.
Tell people what Scruples is.
Scruples is a classic game. Okay, this has been around since the dawn of time, pretty much. What you're doing in Scruples is you are asking people these moral quandaries, and then there's a game behind it. You can play it as a game, but what you're basically trying to do is you're trying to figure out where people's moral lines are, what they would do in these interesting positions, and you're discussing it. And you're having a party where you're discussing what people believe and what they would do, and you're actually getting to the bottom of what people's personality and character is, and you're having interesting debates on, you know what, maybe I would take that $10 out of that woman's purse because I'm going to donate it to the homeless shelter. That's what I'm doing. So, it's stuff like that.
It's a lot of fun thought experiments, but you have to answer the question, and you're in public. You have to make these statements in front of your friends. Right. And it sometimes puts you in really awkward and funny situations. Like one time we were playing this, actually Nealon was asked if he was friends with a couple, and if he found out that one of them was cheating, would he tell the other one?
Wait, are we the couple in this story?
Yeah. No, we were.
Wait, why are you?
And so Nealon had to decide if he would tell one of us, I guess.
What did he decide?
I can't remember. Do you remember?
I don't even remember this particular thing. So no, I really don't remember. I'm already getting stressed thinking about this event that didn't happen because none of my parties have involved moral philosophy discussions. This is a terrible choice.
You're going to the wrong parties.
No, here's the problem. We have a big problem, okay?
Nealon, let him talk.
The big problem is the Resistance is not a party game.
What?
And Scruples is not a game. So I don't know what to do, but the only thing I can say is it's the Resistance fire away 100%
What?
On this discussion.
Yeah.
Scruples is an activity at best. It's very fun.
What do you do at parties? You have activities.
It's tough.
You're going to go to a cocktail mixer with a Resistance?
Yeah, exactly, with a little mask on. My best shadow 2020.
I'm going to say Scruples fire away.
I mean, I think we're in a bit of a pickle here. I've had some fun parties where we played the Resistance, but I've had more fun parties where we play Scruples. So Scruples fire away.
Pretty passionate that Scruples doesn't qualify for the list, to be honest.
Really?
Because True Colors, like we just talked about, has a wrapper of points and voting. There's
a wrapper of points in Scruples.
Yeah, but you don't even use it.
you shouldn't keep score, but the way you play Scruples as a party game is you have a yes, no, or it depends, and you want to ask the person who you think is going to answer the question that way. So you have and that makes the game more fun because you want to say, like, Neelan, thinking Neelan's going to say yes, and if he says no, then it's like a shock, like, oh, I can't believe you said that.
Yeah,
I also think we're going down a dangerous road if we're talking about scoring systems in party games because most of them are terrible.
I think that that's a fine thought, but not connected to Scruples, because the specific way that Scruples works that's annoying is you select who you ask the question to based on the cards that you have of yes, no, and maybe, and that actually limits the discussion and makes it more gamey than it should be.
That's fair.
I'm a way less high on Scruples and True Colors, just over the candidly, and I will be voting against the Resistance when it comes up against a real party.
All right, I'll take that. As long as that's happening, then I'm fine.
All right, I think we're firing away the Resistance.
Sure.
There we go. Passion for the Resistance wins. Okay, round 3. We have Krazy Wordz versus Balderdash. Wow, wow, wow.
Oh, Balderdash is a good example I hadn't thought of for this, but
yeah, Balderdash is good. Callan, tell us about Balderdash.
Balderdash is a classic game that is also called Beyond Balderdash, but has been rebranded to just Balderdash, where you get a dictionary word, a clever movie title, or a place, or a law, and everyone has to write a little description of that. What is the movie synopsis for the 3 little kids go to Red Riding Hood's house? And then everyone writes a synopsis, and one player is the host of that round, and they write the real synopsis, and then all of those are read to the players, and everyone has to vote on which one they think is correct. This usually devolves into hilarity, funny, laughing parties as you try to make... I'm remembering moments of glory in my
We're just
past.
adding to our list of types of parties. So we have funny, laughing, hilarity parties,
And
we have
then
intimate parties.
Yeah, the
and we
erotic
have-
ones that Mark is throwing.
Yeah.
Bringing people from the streets.
And then the street parties, yeah.
That is Balderdash. It is a bit more on the thinky, fun, funny party side because you do need people who can write in a specific style.
So make sure you don't play this with first graders because they might not know how to write yet, is what you're saying, right?
I think Krazy Wordz is a similarly creative game where every player gets, let's call it a category card. So it might be like a folk music band, and then you all get a bunch of sort of Scrabble letters. You get some consonants, you get some vowels, and you sort of have to assemble a word using those letters that you think best represents the card you've been given. Then everyone's cards get shuffled together and revealed, and you're trying to match everyone's crazy word with the card in the middle. And if you get a match, then you're going to get points, but it leads to some of the best jokes and in-jokes that we've ever had as a group, like yuck-vuck, which is this dumb thing we say all the time, originates from Krazy Wordz. There are some like little catchphrases and slogans that have just gone down in our game groups, like history as just these very sort of in-jokes into our group, and they all come from Krazy Wordz.
Can you play it with first graders?
Yes.
I think that the glory of Pub Meeple is that what this has revealed for me is that Krazy Wordz is essentially like Balderdash for dummies.
First graders.
I think they're in the same wheelhouse, and I think that Krazy Wordz definitely, like Balderdash, like you're right. I think it is a more quote unquote intellectual game, but Krazy Wordz is very accessible and very fun. And even if you're bad at word games, it's just, you're going to have a good time playing it.
A vote for Balderdash is a vote for smart people. Fire away, Balderdash.
I'm voting for smart people. Balderdash, fire away.
Bartlett 2020. Yeah, no, I'm definitely Balderdash. I love, love, love this game. I haven't played it in a while. Like Kellen said, it really does create a lot of hilarity, laughs, and
I love
moments.
Krazy Wordz.
Yeah.
Just to get more words in after I fired away.
I got to be honest, but if Balderdash had been a game I thought about, it might have been on my list, so I don't think it beats it out, but I'm going to be fighting for Krazy Wordz somewhere else in this contest because I love it a lot.
Yuckvuck is the only good thing that came out of Krazy
What about-
Wordz. Balderdash, fire away.
I don't know if we've ever said when you drove by in that truck and rolled down your window and just screamed yuck.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was about to be shot. Like, it was not a happy moment.
I'm happy to concede this one to Balderdash.
Well, you don't have to concede it. You already lost.
okay.
No.
We already-
Well,
Yeah, you lost. You can't
fine.
concede.
I
You already
can
fired away.
Yeah, I'll let you guys take this one.
All right, we have a wonderful matchup here. Next, we have Happy Salmon versus Telestrations. Okay, I'll take Happy Salmon because this is a great game, and it comes in a fish container that you unzip to get the cards out. So Happy Salmon is a party game where everybody has a stack of cards. And this is another screaming one. You have to scream a lot and you're trying to match with people. So you look at your card and you're trying to find somebody who has the same symbol as you. And then you have to do an action with that person that matches. And then you throw the card on the floor once you get that match and you just fly through these. So you're screaming. This is a crazy, wild way to start a party. I'm just going to say it's a great way to get people comfortable with each other. There are people similar to Anomia that refuse to play this. People that maybe take themselves too seriously and don't want to be seen doing silly things.
Some of them might be on this podcast.
No, I play Happy Salmon. What are you talking about? One of my favorite things to do is to play Happy Salmon in a place where other people are playing regular games because you get so many looks at you, but you're just screaming that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a cacophony of pound it, Happy Salmon, slap, high five, like, and just
But
so
over
many
and over
and
again.
over. Happy
Yeah.
Salmon, Happy Salmon, Happy Salmon, Happy Salmon, because you want somebody to hear you and recognize. You can also pass and go to another one, but then,
Telestrations may need no introduction. This is a game that many people have played just in paper form. It's known on the internet sometimes as Eat Poop You Cat. In Telestrations, you are given a word or a phrase, and then you draw it, and then that drawing is passed to another player who writes down what they think that drawing is, which is passed to another player who then draws what you wrote down, and you keep playing telephone back and forth between what's written down and what someone has drawn. And then at the end, you go from this to that, and you do show and tell, where you kind of flip your board through the stages, and you identify where the drawing went wrong, or where someone just couldn't figure out that was a cat on a hot tin roof. And in fact, they've drawn an oven with a cat inside of it. So things happen in Telestrations. It is hilarious. It is very funny. And you also have a moment of sort of show and tell. There's moments where you are drawing and writing and putting your head down. And then there's moments where you come up and you have sort of a round where you reveal to each other. I think this is a quintessential party game, perhaps the best of all time.
So, as much as I love Happy Salmon, I have to say I have never turned down a game of Telestrations, and I've never gotten tired of it. I'm going to have to fire away Telestrations.
If you told me, Kellen, you have to go to a party, and I didn't know what kind it was, a first grade party, a street party, an erotic party, Telestrations would be the first game in my bag. It would have to be a big bag because there's a lot for the 12-player Telestrations. There is not a single party game that would go first ever. Telestrations, fire away.
Telestrations is a game that I think I've said every time we've done a top 50 that I've just accidentally left it off. Telestrations is that good. Like, it probably should be in my top 50 games. It's excellent party game that anyone could enjoy. Happy Salmon is fun as a goof. I don't know. I don't think I would ever be excited to play
Goof.
it. Fire away on Telestrations.
I love Happy Salmon.
I like it.
I think just for the ease of having more people play, it goes to 12 people. There's definitely going to be a segment of the population who's never going to want to play Happy Salmon.
Yeah.
So I think I would go Telestrations also, fire away.
Unanimous. Telestrations, fire away. Next up, we have another, perhaps inferior drawing game, but this one is called Pictomania versus Codenames.
This is a battle of one man's brain, right?
Oh, yeah. It's a Vlada Kvartal double feature. Yeah, totally. So I think I threw in Pictomania. So Pictomania is a game of a Pictionary type drawing, except you have your word as everyone else at the table, and you are both drawing and trying to guess everyone's picture at the same time. So there's this balance of, do I want to draw quickly and start guessing, or do I want to make my drawing as good as possible while also trying to guess? There's a lot going on. It was also quite stressful, but I love it. I think I've said also every time we've done our top 50 lists, I just keep moving Pictomania higher and higher. It's so clever for what is basically a Pictionary variant. It's excellent.
I mean, what needs to be said about Codenames? Codenames is I think of any game in the last 10 years that is going to be found in households.
Textbooks. Board game
The history
textbooks.
books. COVID 2020 and Codenames.
That's right.
Yep.
That's the chapter.
Yeah, I think Codenames is the mass market classic. It's fantastic. I love Pictomania. I think the problem with me, Codenames, I think deserves to be on this list. I might even vote for it in this battle. I had it on my list. It was one of the games I submitted. The problem with Codenames is that it's a game where because I've played it so much, I think I never feel super excited to play it, but every time I play it, I have a great time. It never fails. Every game of Codenames I've had has been great. And yet, I think I'm going to vote Pictomania for this one. I love the stress of it. I love the guessing and drawing at the same time.
It's strange because I feel about Pictomania the way Kellen feels about Anomia, where it's like so stressful and I'm so bad at it that I just don't even ever want to play it again.
Pictomania is the game that I pretend to like so that I don't have to see Neelan's sad face when he suggested. They have reduced the complexity with the second edition, which I think is a great step. Yeah, this is an easy fire away for Codenames for me. Pictomania is too stressful.
I love Pictomania, and I will definitely be defending it later in this fight, but Codenames is higher on my personal list, and I think Codenames is in some ways unassailable. Like, it's just so good, and it's so
good,
accessible, and I don't think I'm getting tired of it, despite how much I've played it. It's Codenames fire away for me.
We have an exciting battle. In the ring, we have Wavelength versus Time's Up.
Okay, Time's Up is fantastic. Time's Up is a game that's been known as, by other titles, it's like sort of like a folk game, Celebrity Salad Bowl. It's a game where a number of usually like movie titles or actors or some pop references are put into a bowl, and then you draw it out. And the first round, you can use as many words, as many gestures as you want to explain what it is, and your team can guess as many times as they want. In the second round, you can use a single word, as many gestures as you want. Your team gets one guess. In the final round, you cannot use any words. You're just gesturing, and your team gets one guess. The best thing about Time's Up is that you would think that in the third round, where you're only allowed to gesture, that there'd be no way to communicate, the Count of Monte Cristo. But in that very first round, when somebody pretended to have a cape on, that becomes the running gag for the entire game of Count of Monte Cristo. So not only is it not difficult to come up with the Count of Monte Cristo, but like the very act of just pretending you have a cape on for a second, somebody shouts out Count of Monte Cristo. And it's just like that amazing meta language that comes throughout the game.
And it's crazy because that like those inside jokes literally are created and completed within one game, which is incredible. Yeah. Like, it's not like, oh, we're using an inside joke because our group has been together for so long. It's literally, you could play this with a random group and you create inside jokes right then and there. And in the third round, everyone is like adrenaline rush. It's insane. Yeah. When I said that Anomia was one of the games that got my heart rate up, but not the best, I was holding out for Time's Up because this game,
playing Time's Up is like a sight to behold. It is like one of the greatest experiences of my life in the board gaming world.
I have to like stretch out beforehand. I have to like stop drinking coffee for an hour before we play. It is intense. It is literally like adrenaline rush is the only way to describe Time's Up. I'm firing away 100 times every time, all the way to the end.
Let me introduce Wavelength.
Okay, go ahead.
Wavelength is probably the newest party game on this list that has taken the toy factor to 12. It has this beautiful physical apparatus where a score target will be set like at 70%, and one player knows that on a scale of not hot to hot, they're trying to get everyone to guess 70%. And so they might give a clue, like Brad Pitt. And you might say, wait a minute, Kellen, Brad Pitt is 100 out of 100% hot, and so therefore that was a bad clue. And so the game becomes a series of arguing about where on the moral position on this to that does the table feel like this person is saying. Are they trying to articulate it for themselves, or are they trying to articulate what the table might find on a scale of not offensive to offensive? How offensive is killing a bug? And they hoped that would be right in the middle because killing animals would be more offensive than killing a bug. And then that incites a wave of discussion as people go, killing a bug is the same thing as killing an animal. I don't know why this party game is all about killing. Don't ask me.
Wavelength, killing mice. Maybe killing baby mice.
Maybe killing baby mice. Wavelength is a fantastic new party game. It is a beautiful production. It is not that expensive. It came out and everyone was like, I'm surprised this didn't already exist yet. That's how good and interesting it is. It is not as good as Time's Up. Time's Up Title Recall is the version that we all play together the most. It is also known as Monikers. Time's Up, Fire Away.
Time's Up, Fire Away.
One other thing about Wavelength, I love Wavelength as well, but it does feel like every single game we come away with some interesting like discovery. And I kind of joked about this.
Pokemon.
Well, not that. I joked about this earlier, but in our recent game, we had the scale was easy to kill, from easy to kill to hard to kill. And Neelan was the one giving the clue or, getting us to guess. And everybody in our group started talking about like the actual manual difficulty of killing something. So like how much force would you need to kill a bug, for
First
example.
grader.
And then when it was revealed, we were way, way off. And it turned out the whole time Neelan was thinking of how morally hard it would be to kill. A mouse would be much morally harder to kill.
Yeah, like I had internalized the clue as what would I find harder to do? Like, and
Right, morally.
Right.
So
Right.
it feels like we always take away these really interesting discoveries from Wavelength. Time's up, fire away. All right, this battle is going to be Panic on Wall Street versus Sixes. I'll describe Sixes real quick. So Sixes is similar to Categories. There are 3 different rounds, unique, match, and lightning, and you have to list out 6 items that fit into a category. In one of the rounds, you have to try to match everyone else. In one of the rounds, you have to have unique items that nobody else is using. And then in the lightning round, there are 6 different things you have to write down, and you're trying to match. So Sixes is another game that leads to a lot of fighting and a lot of really obscure rule making. We've probably talked about our famous "is there air in an airport" example. It just is always, always fun. It can get really angry, to be honest. Like Kellen and I have left game nights before so upset because of how somebody has decided to adjudicate a certain rule. But it also leads to really high highs because you get so passionate about your item and why it belongs in the list of 6 things that are in that category. Sixes, fire away.
Panic on Wall Street.
Go ahead. Panic on Wall Street.
Panic on Wall Street, also known as Masters of Commerce, is sort of like a team version of Pit in a way, sort of. You have half the table are playing as investors, half the table are playing as like managers of companies. The managers are buying stock from the investors who are selling it to them. There's like a freewheeling period of time where people are shouting across the table like, I'll buy this from you for 40, I'll sell it to you for 35, and the stock prices aren't locked in until you put your token on the board. So there's constantly like writing down these stock prices in dry erase marker and then wiping it, and then somebody's like, wait, why'd you wipe it? Well, I thought we had an agreement, and no, you didn't have an agreement because it wasn't locked in. It wasn't, you might say, fired away on. It's like a game of constant screaming. And then there's dice rolling to see how the market fluctuates, which is another period of like intense excitement where you see like your stock rising or falling, and you know, did you invest in the stock that's safe or did you invest in the volatile stock? And there's a lot of screaming, a lot of shouting, a lot of crazy stuff going on. We had an incredible game of this at Shucks a couple months ago. I love Sixes. I'm still going to go for Panic on Wall Street because I think the highs of Panic on Wall Street are higher than the highs of Sixes, although Sixes is a great game. So
Panic
for me,
on Wall Street is
far away.
not a party game. And if you showed up at a party with it, people would laugh at you.
Really?
Hey, Mark, we're having a party. You know, you're the game guy. Why don't you bring some stuff over? Are you going to bring Sixes or Panic on Wall Street? Sixes, fire away.
Panic on Wall Street. I brought it to a birthday party. We
You're
played
lying.
it, and it was great. I
A
swear
bunch of nerds, a Mensa party.
I think
it was not. It was soccer team party. It was the opposite of Mensa Nerds, I think. I don't know how that works.
I think Panic on Wall Street
Your
is.
soccer friends aren't listening.
I think Panic on Wall Street is borderline for me, but I would still say it's close enough to a party. I would call it a party game, and I think it's a much better game to me personally than Sixes. I like Sixes a lot.
Are you
What?
kidding?
Yeah, I Panic on Wall Street. Panic on Wall Street is fantastic.
Kellen, let him talk.
No.
Panic on Wall Street is. I mean, Panic on Wall Street is in my top 50. Like it's fantastic, and that was before we played it at Shucks. Like it's excellent.
It's not.
It's real good.
It's fun.
The highs of Panic on Wall Street are way higher than Sixes. I
That
love
is not
Sixes.
true at all.
How many-
How many games go higher than Sixes? I've never seen
Time's
us go
up.
higher than Sixes.
Time's up. What are
But
you talking
time's
about?
up.
What? You've never
Are
seen
you
us go
serious?
higher than Sixes?
Are you member Big Bear?
Yeah, what?
Do you remember?
Right.
I don't know. They're both great.
We're at a deadlock.
It's an impossible impasse.
I'll concede on this.
Sixes, fire away.
I will not be firing away, but I'll let you guys take
Yeah,
this.
I'm conceding, but I shall not fire away on. I'm not going to use my fire away
All
on
right.
it, but I'm just going to see.
Sixes, fire away. Okay, next up. Oh, we have a repeater in here for the first time.
Great.
We are watching the battle between Detective Club and True Colors.
Oh my god, this is annihilation.
Detective Club is the latest entry in the Dixit style cards, where there are beautiful tarot-sized illustrations. In Detective Club, everyone but one player knows what the word or phrase is, and one player doesn't know anything. So this takes a framework that exists in other games like Fake Artist Goes to New York, where someone doesn't know something and the entire table is trying to figure out who doesn't know that something. And it's a very fun framework, and what Detective Club does to make it easier is because it's all Dixit style cards, and because they're all esoteric, weird artwork, even if you put a random card in, you can somehow relate it to the clue. And what the game does so well is everyone has to do one card and then a second card, and then you have to sort of defend yourself to the jury. These defend yourself to the jury moments are hysterical because you've had a little minute to try to figure out why your clue works with the category, and usually this devolves into two players where everyone knows, well, it's either Mark or Kellen. Everyone laughs as soon as Mark's card flips, and then Mark and Kellen are both feverishly trying to come up with a lie to defend themselves. I think that Detective Club is very good. I think that it is slept on, a little bit underrated. I think that for our group, True Colors is definitely what I would bring to a party for an accessible, actual game that someone should buy for their group of friends. Detective Club is a better option, so I'm firing away on Detective Club.
Detective Club is boring. True Colors, fire away.
100%. A party with Detective Club is a party I do not want to go to. True Colors, fire away.
Same.
I think of the two, I would prefer to play Detective Club, but it's close enough for me that I think that...
You would rather play Detective Club than True Colors?
Yes.
Serious?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, I'm with Mark. I don't believe you. I really don't believe you.
I honestly,
think if we were at a party,
at
a party, Neelan, and you had the two games in front of you, and this is our
just
group,
said
I just don't believe him. He's not in the party mindset right now.
My worry with True Colors is I don't think it's going to continually deliver in our group the same. Like when we played it at Big Bear, I think that was like fantastic. I think it has diminishing returns in the same group.
No,
well, the thing is, all you do is you add one person or subtract one person and it all changes.
Everything changes.
That's right.
It makes sense to me that Neelan would be the least okay with True Colors as a concept.
I think easily of the four of us, I'm the least comfortable with that type of game. Like, easily. Like, I've enjoyed it, but it's not my wheelhouse.
I'm not saying you have to love True Colors. I'm just saying compared to Detective Club.
Detective Club is good.
Holy smokes.
I don't know who submitted Detective Club. I assume Kellen, but it's very good.
I did, and it's replaced Dixit for me as has the beautiful artwork, can work with different groups. I actually played this with a group of complete non-gaming coworkers my last week at work at one of my previous jobs, and they just loved it.
That reminds me of my game of Panic on Wall Street, where I played with a whole bunch of
Well, that was a fake anecdote, though.
To that point, though, like Detective Club, again, is a game that I've also played with total strangers a couple of times. We did it once at Chuck's. We've done it at a friend's party where we didn't really know anyone, and everyone had a great time. Like, despite not knowing anything about other players, like, it leads to those fun moments where you're just pointing fingers around the table because you have a pretty good idea of who's lying.
Dixit.
No, you wouldn't.
I'd rather play
You don't even know how to play Dixit.
I kind of remember.
I would rather play Dixit.
It's been a while, but I'm sure I could remember
For sure.
it.
I would 100% rather play Dixit.
All right, so Mark has a lot of passion.
Totally, and
Yeah,
like,
I think
that's
Mark-
the thing. Like, I think honestly, like it's close enough for me that I would say your true passion for True Colors would probably take it.
I thought, didn't you vote for it, Kellen?
No, Kellen
I voted for
Detective
Detective
Club.
Oh, okay.
I think that it's a vote for accessibility, for the people.
All right.
Highs and lows.
So it's a True Colors win there.
Yep.
Next battle, we have Anomia versus Detective Club. Here we are, guys. This is obviously
Detective
easy.
Club,
Anomia, fire away. Anomia, fire away. Anomia, fire away.
Fire away.
Neelan,
Oh,
what?
yeah!
Keep going.
Horrible.
Keep the train moving. Keep the train moving.
Sorry. All right. We have another good matchup. We have Balderdash versus the Resistance.
It's
Neelan,
obviously the
what are you
Resistance.
gonna do?
It's the Resistance. It's the best social
Are you
party
serious?
game. It is a party
Balderdash,
game.
fire away.
Balderdash, fire away.
Balderdash, fire away.
Balderdash,
Sorry,
fire
Neelan,
away.
Goodbye.
Drown
All
him
right.
out.
Next battle, we have Crazy Words versus the Resistance.
The Resistance.
Crazy
Come on,
Words.
this is Crazy Words. It's the Resistance.
Crazy Words is $7 on Amazon.
Yeah,
Crazy
think
Words,
about that.
fire away.
Crazy Words, fire
Oh
away.
my
Mark,
God.
my
I
vote.
cannot
Your vote,
handle
Mark.
this.
Oh.
Crazy Words.
See, Neelan, if you had been there for
Mark.
Biblios last
I
time we did
was
this,
there for Biblios.
oh, God.
It's the Resistance.
It's your vote, Mark.
I think
It
I
is
have to
Resistance really good.
go, I think I have to go Resistance. I think I have to go Resistance.
Oh, I need it with more passion, Mark. We're
All
trying to
right.
win the 2v2 here. Come on.
No, it's okay. Neelan's passion carries us
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
The
Neelan's
Resistance
passion.
wins that one. Okay, next we have Crazy Words versus Scruples.
Don't be a yuck fuck. Crazy Words, fire away.
Fire away.
Crazy Words, fire away.
All right. Disagree.
Okay, next up, this is a really, really, really good matchup,
This
you guys.
could be the matchup of the century.
of the century. We have Codenames versus Telestrations.
Ooh.
Telestrations, fire away.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for me. Telestrations, fire away.
I don't think I can muster the passion to win a Codenames. I'm right on the fence of these two. I think I probably, again, it's just with Codenames. It's a game where I'm super excited to play, but it always turns out great. But I think I go Telestrations as well.
This is really like,
No, I would go Codenames in this for me, but like not with enough passion to like overpower anyone.
Well, it's
exactly.
3v1
It's
anyway,
really
so.
like you gotta go to the party. You know, your friend calls you and says, "Hey, you have 60 seconds to leave your house. You got to get to the party."
grab Telestrations.
As you run to the closet, the question is, are my friends smart or not? And if they're smart, you might go for Codenames, but 90 out of 100 times,
You're hacking out with dumb people.
In that situation, I would go for Telestrations because I just would think I'd have more fun. It would be a more exciting choice for me.
Yeah, same. All right. Next round, we have Codenames versus Happy Salmon.
Wow.
Happy Salmon, fire away.
She's gonna try to talk fast to start the bias.
That's how I win Anomia.
Happy Salmon is really good to the point that I bought 2 copies of it so that we have the blue one
And
and,
Funky
the green
Chicken.
one. And Funky Chicken,
So-
the dance version of it.
The
But
expansion.
Compared to Codenames, Vlada's masterpiece and only good game he's ever made. Codenames, fire away.
Does Codenames come in a fish-shaped box, Kellen?
I think
Bag,
one
zippered
version
bag?
did eventually.
We actually could probably put it in
Yeah.
one of the bags from Happy Salmon.
Yeah, I'm going Codenames far away.
It's an easy Codenames for me. Fire away.
All right. Okay, next up, we have Pictomania versus Happy Salmon. No question, Happy Salmon, fire away. Nobody else
Pictomania.
talks.
Pictomania.
Fire away.
Happy Salmon.
Happy Salmon. Happy Salmon. Happy Salmon.
And it's
Happy
not
Salmon.
even close.
How's
Kellen, Happy
Salmon.
All right, you guys, you get it. You
yeah,
get it. It's fine.
That's fair.
Thanks. We demonstrated a Happy Salmon for Mark and Neelan. That's why we get to fire away. Okay. Next up, this is tough. Next up, we have Sixes versus Time's Up. Somebody talk.
I don't know that this is tough.
Okay, well, yeah.
I think that Sixes has been maligned a little bit here. Sixes is very good, and to me,
Very
Sixes
good.
is categories, but better because it allows for argumentation. I think it is for a specific type of group that actually enjoys the process of rules lawyering. It adds an element where everyone needs to do a unique object, and so you need to list 6 unique objects that are in a purse, and then it becomes this game of you going, well, I have Pokemon cards in my purse, and then you have to defend why that's something that everyone would have in a purse, and then people start voting.
Or like Kellen listed 6 different Pokemon that he has in his purse.
Yeah.
Basically.
So I think that is awesome and perfect for a
It's super
gamer
fun.
group. But Time's Up
Yeah,
is
Time's
all
Up.
time.
Time's Up, fire away.
Goat.
Time's up.
It's a good matchup, but Time's Up.
Fire away.
Fire away. Okay, now we have Sixes versus Wavelength. This is a Sixes fire away for me.
Sixes, and I think that's a fire away for me as well.
Yeah, 6 for me. Just
Me
because
too.
for me, Wavelength, the downtime on Wavelength is what bums me out for that one. So I'm going to go 6s.
You have to have a real party with, people that are fun in order for the downtime to be okay in Wavelength. Whereas Sixes, it could be a fake party.
We've identified a lot of different types of parties. A fake party.
Okay, next up, we have Panic on Wall Street versus Wavelength.
I'm going to go Panic on Wall Street. I mean, it's just uproarious. It's exciting. Wavelength, you're just going to have downtime. I mean, Wavelength is a great game, but that downtime really is a big hit for me on it. So I'm going Panic, fire away.
In Panic on Wall Street, you get to have moral dilemma questions. Wavelength is closer to True Colors than any other party game I know.
Here.
Wavelength, it's like True Colors, totally sapped. It's like, here's a question for one person. Wait for them to answer it. People discuss it. It's just so much downtime with Wavelength.
Wavelength, fire away.
I think Wavelength is good, but the biggest issue I have with it is it's like your ability to contribute to a game is quite minimized because you're like chipping in as part of a team, like in a way that's like, I think it's a little bit up, a little bit down. And then when you're like, the clue giver, you're kind of doing nothing for a long period of time. And if you're on the opposite team, you're just waiting around. I think it has too many issues versus Panic on Wall Street, which is just so fun and riotous.
It's funny, Neelan. I actually, what you've said made me think. That's the funny thing.
Does that not happen very often?
Wavelength, in a way, is a streamlined, better version of Scruples, in my opinion. Which is to say that they're both barely games, like because the scoring in Wavelength is dumb. Mm-hmm. Like it's like teams versus team, and then if you're behind, you get more points, or you can't score too many points. It's more of an activity than it really is like a game. I'm happy to go Panic on Wall Street for this one. Fire away.
That's going to be a Panic on Wall Street win. Next up, we have Balderdash versus True Colors. Oof.
This is a good one.
Balderdash, fire away.
This is a good fight here.
Balderdash
My friends are smart.
is more open. You can have more people that you don't know. It's more accepting of people who are that are not.
Yeah, you've convinced me. Balderdash, fire away.
Balderdash, fire away.
There was a butt coming, but Christina didn't wait for it.
All right. Next up, we have True Colors versus the. Finish the sentence, Neela.
The Resistance. I know where this is going.
Come on.
I'm not even.
True.
It's
Color.
the Resistance. It's.
True.
I mean,
Colors.
yeah.
True. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's done.
It's-
All right, True
I love
Colors,
the
fire
Resistance.
away.
I think if Resistance, you have to add so many other games to this category that I struggle with.
Next category, we have the Resistance versus Anomia. Anomia, fire away.
Okay, the Resistance. I've switched teams. That was quick.
Yes.
I'm going.
The
Anomia.
Resistance, fire away.
Anomia. Okay.
Deadlock.
I understand that Anomia is stressful for some people, but just imagine in your mind right now, close your eyes, picture us all sitting around a table, having the Anomia cards in our hand. Picture my category is dogs and your category is magazines.
Golden Retriever.
Well, but the symbols didn't match, so you said that for no reason, Kellen.
Yep. We're having so much fun.
Yeah.
It's a great riotous
You
time.
sold me, Christina.
We're all screaming. We match, but you can't remember any dog breeds.
Look,
You know what I mean?
I love Anomia, but I don't think that there's any world where, I mean, the Resistance is a game I would never turn down, and it would always be like, honestly, even again, among people I don't know, it would be a game I would try to get going. Like, this is the Resistance for me.
Kellen, where are you on this?
Well, I think that they both suffer from the good players ruining the game for the table.
That's
Which
true.
is to say that, like, I've had games of Anomia that I actually enjoyed because somehow I was just half a step ahead of everyone, which does not happen when we play. And in the Resistance, if you don't know the meta or don't know the people and everything is happening in front of you, like, I've actually had more good games of Anomia than I expected based on my first blush thing. I have to vote for Resistance here, but it's not it's in the middle.
I'm willing to concede if that's where we're at. I would
All
definitely
right.
play.
I still think Neelan's passion for the Resistance pushes us through here. This time we have Crazy Words versus Anomia. I've made my case for Anomia. I stick by it. Anomia, fire away.
Crazy
Anomia
words.
far away.
So much better
Anomia,
than
fire
Anomia.
away.
Yeah. Good job, Neelan. Okay. Next up, we have, here's your time to shine, Kellen. Crazy Words versus Detective Club. Pick your pick.
I think it's Detective Club.
Crazy words.
Crazy Words, fire away.
Where were you for Crazy Words 1 minute ago? You
Well, it was not as good as the other games later or earlier.
I
Neelan?
think it's Detective Club for me, but I think it's close. So, I don't know. How are you
Sounds
two
like
super
you're shouting.
passionate about Crazy Words?
It sounds like Mark hates Detective Club.
I just think Detective Club is like so derivative and so. I just don't think.
Yeah,
I just
same.
not
We're
excited
not
about it.
we're not that passionate
never
about
excited about
Crazy
playing
Words, but we're
Detective Club.
passionate against Detective Club.
Honestly, I have to fight you on the derivative thing because I think it is certainly derivative of the cards are Dixit cards, but I think the twist
Right.
on it makes it feel extremely.
Yeah, no,
unique.
it's not a terrible
Fake
game.
Artist. It's just Fake Artist. Fake Artist is better though.
I put my Dixit cards in Detective Club, if that helps sway you at all, Mark.
No.
I'm happy with us going Crazy Words.
I wouldn't have a
Okay.
big problem with that.
Yeah.
All right, Crazy Words, we're going. Next up, Scruples versus Detective Club.
Detective
Club.
Club, no question. Fire away.
Detective
Scruples,
Club,
fire away.
Christina.
It's Scruples. That game is great.
Yeah, but you have.
We learned that Neelan would defend my honor.
I don't remember.
I
that.
can't imagine that you'd rather play a game. You'd rather.
I
go to
would
a place
rather
where
play
you're playing
Detective Club.
Detective Club versus
Yes.
Scruples. I think
Yes.
you'd have a much funner time playing Scruples.
I think
Scruples
Scruples
is
is
not a
so
game.
close to uncomfortable a lot of the time that like I would have more fun
Sure,
playing Detective.
that's fair. That's fair. Okay, that's fine.
Are we conceding, Mark?
We're
Detective
conceding.
Club.
All right, Detective Club. Next up, we've got Time's Up versus Telestrations. It's a Time's Up fire away for me, but
Yeah.
I can see how it'd be hard.
Yeah, it's hard,
people.
but it's not that hard for me. It's Time's Up for sure.
Yes,
I think it's Time's Up. Yeah, for me as well.
But think about Telestrations' honor.
All right, next round. Time's Up one. Okay, we have Sixes versus Telestrations.
Telestrations.
Telestrations. Fire away.
You don't even need
Your
to say
six is
fire
there.
away.
Sixes versus Codenames.
Codenames.
Sixes,
fire away.
fire away.
Names, fire away.
Codenames.
Okay, next up, Sixes versus Happy Salmon.
Sixes, no question.
Oh, this is hard.
Yeah, I think I have to go sixes.
Oh, okay.
You've lost.
I almost accidentally clicked on Happy Salmon.
Accidentally.
Definitely.
Okay, next up, Panic on Wall Street versus Happy Salmon. Happy Salmon, Happy Salmon, Happy Salmon.
Happy
Fire
Salmon.
away.
On Wall Street.
No question.
Happy Salmon, no question.
It's Panic on Wall Street. It's definitely no question for me. Like I
It
think
is
it's
definitely no question for
yeah.
Wall Street.
I feel like this might be the biggest impasse we've had because
Yeah,
it's like
actually, probably
the
right.
gulf between the two honestly is monumental. Like Panic on Wall Street
I
is
agree with that.
incredible.
Right. One of them's a party game, one of them isn't. And that's the gulf we're looking at.
Oh, goodness. I don't know what to do about this one.
I think that we like Panic on Wall Street more than they like Happy Salmon.
I think you're right. All right, Panic on Wall Street. Next up, Wavelength versus Happy Salmon. Easy, Happy Salmon, fire away.
I'll give you Happy Salmon there. I will.
Thank you.
I've
Mark.
switched teams already to Wavelength.
I might say Happy Salmon on this one.
Yeah, woo, Happy Salmon, we're going. Okay, next up, Wavelength versus Pictomania.
Pictomania.
Fire away.
Wavelength. Fire away.
The single
not even
best
close.
Pictionary-like game there is.
Pictomania is bad. The scoring in it is so
It's
complicated.
not that complicated.
You just badmouthed the scoring of Wavelength. You just said Wavelength is garbage scoring, and you're gonna use
Don't-
that as the deciding
we
factor?
can't go back, Mark. We have to go forward.
I think you guys are more passionate about Pictomania, unfortunately. Kellen, agree?
Yeah, that's fair. But I think Wavelength is getting a bad
Wavelength-
rap. It's good.
and
it's
it's
very
all
good.
of the games on this list are
Objectively
good.
better than Pictomania. We have a new matchup. Time's Up versus Balderdash. Time's Up, fire away.
Time's
Yeah,
up.
both great, but time's up.
Unanimous. Okay, next up, Telestrations versus Balderdash.
Telestrations. I understand why someone would make the argument for Balderdash. I love Balderdash.
I thought you liked smart people.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
I surround myself with the smarties, which is the three of you.
And for everyone else, it's
Telestrations.
Telestrations.
All right,
Fire away.
you've swayed me, Kellen.
Yeah, see? Telestrations, I think, could even beat Time's Up in this, honestly. It's the quintessential party game. But, yeah, Telestrations.
I'm willing to vote.
I would go
Telestrations.
Telestrations on this. I think it's close, but I think I've had so many good times with Telestrations, and it's a game I would recommend to almost anyone.
All right, Telestrations wins. Now we have Codenames versus Balderdash. Ooh. The new versus the old. What are you going to do?
It's funny. It's the new versus the old, but what am I more excited to play? I feel like Balderdash, but Codenames always delivers. I don't know. It's rough.
I feel like I would have to pick Balderdash here. Just got to stick to my classic.
This is hard for me because Balderdash is a game that it doesn't come up that often when we talk about this type of game, but it feels like such the missing piece. It's like, of course Balderdash is good. Like, it's fantastic. Oh man.
Did I say fire away?
I could
Fire
be
away.
I could be convinced that it's Balderdash.
I'm on the fence, so I'm happy to
Yeah,
go Balderdash.
I think Christina having any passion in this wins.
Okay. All right, next up, Codenames versus True Colors.
Codenames. Fire away.
True
True
colors.
Colors, fire away.
True colors.
Codenames is so good. True Colors works with limited groups of people.
Yeah, you can stop. I think Mark and I are kind of sheepish about voting True Colors
Great.
anyways.
So Codenames.
We can be swayed.
Christina's backtracked from her fire away.
Sure.
By,
I'm not backtracking.
by saying out loud that Mark was sheepish about his answer.
I'm not backtracking.
That's okay.
I'm
That's fine.
I'm speaking the truth. Okay, next up, Sixes versus True Colors. This one is a
This
Sixes
is
fire away for me.
fire away for me.
Yeah, I agree. I would tell someone to buy Sixes before I tell them to buy True Colors.
I don't know about that, but it's a Sixes fire away. Okay, now we have Panic on Wall Street versus True Colors. Ooh,
True Colors,
Mark.
fire away.
No, it's true colors. It's
True-
true.
I won't win this, so
True Colors.
yeah, True Colors takes
Pushing
it.
Panic
Fire
on
away.
Wall Street down where it belongs, not on the list.
Okay, Kellen's gonna love this one. Panic on Wall Street versus The Resistance. The two games Kellen wants to kick out. of the
Neither
list.
are. Okay, do you remember Blue Lagoon? You laughing idiots?
Kellen, we only look forward. We don't look back.
Oh, that's true. I did look back there for a second. Thank you, Mark. It's got to be The Resistance. Fire away.
The Resistance is it. I would have a hard time recommending Panic on Wall Street to every group of people, especially in a party setting. Like I said, it's so close to borderline for me. But The Resistance, I disagree with Kellen on it being a party game, and I think it's the best party game.
I would vote Panic, but I'm happy to let it go.
I would also vote Panic, but yeah, I'm not that passionate about it, so we'll go The Resistance. Okay, Panic on Wall Street versus Anomia. Easy money. Anomia, fire away.
Anomia, fire
Yeah,
away.
I can go Anomia. That's fine. I'm happy to go Anomia here.
Beautiful. Okay. Crazy Words versus Panic on Wall Street. Go.
Crazy words.
Crazy words, fire away.
Crazy words. Fire
Crazy
away.
Words. Yeah, Crazy Words
Cool.
is great. It's fun. It's funny.
All right, Panic on Wall Street versus Detective Club.
Panic on Wall Street.
Panic on Wall Street.
It's Detective Club.
Panic
Come on.
What?
Can you conjure
Okay.
passion for Detective Club?
I did my top 50.
Okay, Mark, do not let me down. We have Happy Salmon versus Detective Club.
Happy Salmon, yes. I will not let you down. I will very much not let you down.
Happy Salmon, fire away.
No, what?
Wait, you didn't fire away.
Oh, I thought she clicked. She was like looking at me and getting ready to
I was
click.
hovering.
I think it's Detective Club.
I think it's Detective Club easily. I mean, it's easily Detective Club for me.
I'm happy to go Happy Salmon.
Kellen loves
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
like this is less of a difference than I was arguing for Panic on Wall Street. So yeah.
Okay.
I'm
got
happy
it.
to go
Happy Salmon, fire away. Pictomania versus Detective Club.
Detective Club.
Pictomania.
Detective Club.
Easily.
Pictomania is
This
not
is the
fun.
only time I'll pick Detective Club in this whole.
That's a fair statement.
I will sit and not do anything rather than play Pictomania.
That's a lot of passion
That's
against
a
Pictomania.
fair rebuttal.
Totally.
I mean,
and
I get that.
honestly, I think that if your argument, I definitely don't want to play Pictomania, and I would say I would play either of them. Then yeah, I would give it to Detective Club.
I mean,
All right.
I'm not okay.
Mark, it's like
Sucks.
it's like we have like all these different steaks that we're rating,
Don't
and
worry,
one of them
don't
is like
worry.
a McDonald's $1 sandwich, and Mark is just like so pissed off that it's even on the list.
Next up, we have Pictomania versus Scruples. I'm in a Scruples, fire away.
Yeah, Scruples.
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy with either of these.
I'm not going to win it, but it's Pictomania.
Okay,
It's not.
Scruples.
Keelan.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's over.
It's
Oh,
over.
Okay, go from bottom to top.
Oh my
There it is.
goodness.
These
Okay,
are
here we
the
go.
Top what?
The
Top
best.
15?
Does anybody, this is the top
15.
15. Does anybody want to guess number 15?
It better be Detective Club.
It's not.
I think it could be Scruples.
I'm actually surprised. It's Wavelength.
Oh,
Number 15
yeah.
is Wavelength.
Yeah. I can see
Wavelength
that.
got the short end of the stick on this
Where's
episode.
downtime? I really think that downtime.
Darn downtime. Okay, number 14, thank goodness, is Pictomania.
Nice. Good
Rob,
position. Only a few more needed to
Number
go.
13, we've got Scruples.
Yeah.
Number 12, we've got Detective Club.
Yeah.
Too high.
Shamefully low, Happy Salmon is number 11. Man.
Didn't even make the top 10
That's
best
a
party games
that's a
of Board
big
Game Barrage.
disappointment for me, but we can talk about it later. Number 10 is Panic on Wall Street. I mean,
Okay,
I
I'm happy
disagree,
it
but it's
plays.
fine.
I'm not.
Number 9 is Crazy Words.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 8 is Anomia. Deserves to be higher, but that's okay. Still good. Number 7 is The Resistance. That's fair, even though I didn't vote for The Resistance a single time. I understand.
I think Biblios might have finished 7th too, so you're in good company.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Number 6 is True Colors.
Too low, but that's okay.
And number 5 is Sixes. Beautiful. It's a good
yeah.
spot for
Very
Sixes.
good.
That's a great spot.
I
It
like
should be
that.
in 6. It
That's
should
super
take its
fair.
namesake. It should
It should
have
have been
that's
6.
fair.
Why didn't we do that better?
Well, we
I
can
thought I was
just,
trying to do the whole time. You guys,
can we just reverse it?
Mark,
we go
the
back?
entire
We
time.
can. We can reverse it. Who's stopping us?
We can go back.
Okay,
Oh
so
my gosh, we're not
let's do
going
the-
back. We'll never go back.
okay.
We
Oh,
only
yeah, we
look
can't go
forward.
back. I
We
forgot
only look
about that.
forward. You keep forgetting that, Callan. Okay, we are at our top 4. Number 4. Anybody want to take a 4 guess?
Number 4 is going to be
Code names?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Codenames.
it's Codenames.
Okay.
Okay, number 3. Guesses for 3?
I know 2 and 1.
Yeah.
I just don't know 3.
You just don't remember 3?
Yeah.
Well,
Is
that
3
says something.
Balderdash?
Oh,
It is.
Oh,
Balderdash.
Balderdash.
Number
Oh,
3
okay.
is
It's
Balderdash.
always
Higher.
forgotten about.
Number 2 is Telestrations, and our number 1
deserve
game
it.
of all time. Well deserved.
party game.
No, number 1 game of all time. Time's up.
Yep.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's the
100%.
best.
Yeah.
It's the best game I've ever played. So there, I said it.
for a party game that is repeatedly in like all of our like top tens, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
100%.
I think it might actually end up being our number 1 collective game of all time.
I think that's probably true. Someone did compile like at least for the 3 of us, Christine, and I think it was really high up there.
All right, we'll wait till I get in there.
There
Just
go.
you wait.
Oh yeah, you're gonna do your top 50.
yeah,
We do
sure.
our top 50s.
All right, so that'll wrap it up for our BGBOB. We'll be careful to pronounce that correctly.
BGB.
What? I thought it was BG Bob.
Isn't it BGB Bob?
BGB Bob.
Oh man,
BGB bubble.
like
I think
a
we've been doing it
bebop. Okay, that'll wrap. I've been saying it wrong the whole time then.
Yep.
Whatever.
I've been saying
Whatever.
BGBOB. Okay, whatever. BGBOB, BGBBOB. You can say it however you want
No,
because
you
this
can't.
is your podcast.
What?
This is your party.
Yeah.
This is our
It's
podcast.
your party, your podcast, your party. Do what you want with it. We are your hosts, and we're happy to be here and tell you what the top 15 party games are of all time. And for any party needs, whether you're having a street party, a intimate party,
First grader party.
first grader party. Was that one of the parties? What are the other parties, Kellen? Come on, jump
People at
in.
the street party.
A fun
Yeah, I got
party.
that one.
A smart party.
Oh yeah,
Said
smart
Dixon's was
party.
for a rules lawyer party, which I just still don't understand. Okay.
A non-Mensa
party.
party, a Mensa party, a fake party, any party, you name it.
Pasta party.
We've got the game.
My place.
They're all here. All
You
15.
bring the sauce.
I'll bring the games. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Thursday morning, even though it's Sunday evening for us.
But look forward. I like that. Forward thinking.
Thank you. I always look forward. Thank you to Heart Society for the intro and outro song What's on Your Mind, Kid, from their album Wake the Queens. I think that'll do it. Anybody else want to say any final party words?
Party on.
Party, party, party.
Cowabunga.
Woohoo!
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. See you later. Bye-bye.
Oh, we already said bye. What is this? Second round?
So we are doing a Fire Away episode. Is that what it's called?
I'm
Called
pretty
the
sure
BG
it's called
Bob.
BG Bob.
Yeah.
BG Bob?
I
Board Game Barrage
really
best of
don't
board
like
game.
that. I
Board
really
Game Barrage
don't
Best
like
of
that.
Board Games?
Yeah.
I don't even think that's what
BG
it was
Bob.
originally, but okay.
Yeah, it wasn't originally, but it's still BG Bob.
I'm very uncomfortable with things that are cheesy. And BG Bob we've
It's
gone
not.
off the deep
we
end.
didn't make it to get to BG Bob. It just got there. It's not like we weren't trying to be cheesy. It was just an acronym.
Yeah, it just
All
works.
I'm hearing is an old man saying you can't help it.
So today we have installment number 2 of BG Bob, Board Game Barrage, Best of Board Games.
Yep, that's what it stands for.
That's pretty good, actually.